Hey, how's it going, guys? Welcome back to another video. My name is Ricky. This is my channel, Rickysfoods. On to this video, we got something delicious. We're making some pork belly burnt ends, aka pork candy, aka meat candy, whatever you want to call it. And for that, we're gonna be using my PK grill that I just bought. I love this thing already. I made a pork pie already. I did a tri-tip the other day. It's amazing. So for that, we'll be using my PK grill. So it's gonna be quick, simple, and delicious. And with that being said, guys, if you're new to my channel, please consider subscribing to my channel. I just don't do barbecue. I like trying new dishes. So if you're into that, subscribe to the channel. And with that being said, guys, let's get into this cook. Alright guys, so here we have the pork belly, and this pork belly I bought from Costco. They sell you the whole rack, but I just cut it in half because I didn't want to make that much. So basically right now, what we're gonna do is we're just gonna slice it up, and then we're gonna cube them up. And the way I like my cubes, I like them to be around 1.5 to 2 inches, because if you cut them too small, it's gonna shrink on you. So that's why I like them like around 2 inches, 1.5 inches. So with that being said, guys, let's go ahead and slice these up. So make sure you have a very sharp knife. I'm using my Dalstrong for today. So let's go ahead and slice it up. So another easier way you can do this is you can put your knife and you just put the length of it, and then you can mark it. So I think this is probably like 1 inch. So I'm gonna do a little bit bigger than that. So you can just give it a slice. That way you know where to cut, and then I'm gonna do the same thing over here. All right, so right there, a little bit bigger. All right, so now you have 3 slices, and now I'm just gonna cut this up. So let's go ahead and start doing that right now. Alright guys, so now you have a strip of pork belly. Look how thick that is. So this is about 1.5 inches around there. And then, so the next part is we're gonna cube them up. And it's the same thing. You can grab your knife. Let me move this to the side. Grab your knife and then put the lengthwise. And then you can mark it right there, and that should be like 1 inch. So like I said, I'll make it a little bit bigger. And now we're gonna cube them up. All right guys, and now you have your cube up pork belly, nice and big. This is about like 1 inch right here. All right guys, so that's an easy step. Like I said, pork belly is simple to do, it's quick. All right guys, so now I'm gonna make this too real quick, and then I'll see you back in a bit. Alright guys, so after we're done cubing up the pork belly, now we're gonna add the flavors. For that, we're gonna be using the huckleberry, and this is the hog and hand rub. This brings a kick to it. It's a little bit of spice, so it's gonna be perfect with this pork belly. And for the second rub, we're gonna be using a coffee rub from huckleberry as well. I haven't tried this yet, so I'm kind of curious to see how they do pair together. And for that, we're gonna just get a wire rack and put the pork belly on top and start seasoning this baby up. So let's go ahead and start doing that right now. All right, so the first rub, we're gonna hit it with the hog and hand rub. I'm gonna go heavy on this one because this is real good. I like this on pork, on chicken. This is real good stuff right here. So let's go. So let's give it a healthy amount. Don't be afraid. It's not very salty, so you can go heavy with this. Make sure you get the sides as well. Just like that. Alright guys, after that, I'm gonna go with the coffee rub and just give it another healthy slab of that. This is gonna give us a great color, I can see that already. Alright. Alright guys, so I'm gonna finish seasoning this real quick, and I'll see you guys back in a bit. All right, guys. So here we have the pork belly. It's nice and seasoned up already with the rubs. So now I'm just gonna let this sweat for a couple minutes or until we turn on the PK over there. It's gonna take that long. So I'll see you guys back in a bit. All right, guys. So the PK is up to temp. So now let's go ahead and add the pork belly. I am gonna put it with the cooling rack right here because it's easier for me to move around. Because once the hour comes up, we're gonna rotate this so we can get some even cooking. So let's go ahead and add these to the PK. All right, so now all we want to do is just give them some smoke therapy, and then we want to develop some color. So it's gonna take about an hour to an hour 45 minutes. So I'll see you guys back in a bit. All right, so for this pork belly, I'm gonna cook them at 300, 275, 300, nice, hot and fast. And then I'm gonna come out here in about an hour so we can rotate the pork belly. That's why I like having the cooling rack, so we can just rotate them really simple. And all we're going for right now is just getting them a nice smoking flavor in there. And I'm going by color, so as soon as I'm happy with the color, it's gonna take about an hour 30 minutes or an hour and 45 around that time. And once I like the color, we're gonna put them on a foil pan, and we're gonna add some butter, brown sugar, all that good stuff, so we can get them nice and tender. But until then, I'll see you guys back in a bit. All right, guys, so it's been about 15 minutes and it's time to check on the pork belly to see how it's looking. So let's go ahead and start doing that right now. All right, guys, so it looks really, really good. It has a nice color already. I mean, I know it's hard to see right now because I don't have the great light right now, but it looks really good. Let me grab a little piece right here. And let me put this over here. Has a nice color already. Probably gonna give these like around 30 more minutes, 40 more minutes until we put them in a foil pan. But all we're gonna do right now is we're gonna rotate it. So let's go ahead and start doing that right now. It's hot, so make sure you're careful. All right, guys, so I'm gonna give these around 40 more minutes, and then we're gonna put them in a foil pan with some butter, brown sugar, all the good stuff. So until then, I'll see you guys back in a bit. All right, guys, so I just took out the pork belly and we're ready to braise them so we can get them nice and tender. So if you're wondering what temp they're reading at right now, let's check this big one over here. So this one right now is reading 177. So, and this smaller one is probably gonna be higher than that. Let's see. So this one is reading at 195. So at this point, I'm just gonna put them in the aluminum pan down here, and then we're gonna add some butter, and then we're gonna add some raw honey over here, and then we're gonna put some barbecue sauce. We're gonna add some brown sugar to it, and then we're gonna add a little bit of apple juice just so we can help it braise inside the foil pan. So let's go ahead and start doing that right now. So now I'm just gonna put the pork belly inside the foil pan, just like so. And one thing I forgot to mention in the video, I think, is that I use cherry wood with smoking this pork belly. When I'm using pork, I love using cherry wood and pecan wood. So for this, I use cherry wood. All right, so now we're gonna give it more fat in the butter. So we're gonna put butter all over the place, just like so. And then after that, we're gonna add some honey. Add some honey in there so we can make it sticky and sweet. Because the rub has a kick to it, it's spicy, so we're gonna add some sweetness on here, so we can have like a sweet and spicy pork belly. It's gonna be delicious. All right, and then we're gonna add the Bandit barbecue sauce in there. We're gonna add like half of it, and then the other half I'm gonna use it at the end. All right, so just like that. And then the other half, I'm gonna save it at the end so we can make it all tangy. And then I'm gonna add some apple juice so it can help it braise. Just like that. Not too much. The rest you can drink it yourself. That's good. And the last thing we're gonna add is the brown sugar. Let's add some brown sugar. Alright guys, so now I'm just gonna mix all this up, and then all we're gonna do is just cover it with some foil, put it back in the PK grill at 300, 275 for about 30 or 40 minutes, or until they're really nice and tender. It's gonna take about 40 minutes, like I guess. And that's about it, guys. So let me get this cover up in foil, and we're gonna put it back in the on the PK. So I'll see you guys back in a bit. Got my grandma helping me out right here. So like I said, we're gonna put back the pork belly on the foil pan, cover it up with some aluminum foil. We're gonna leave it here for 30-40 minutes, and then by that time it should be really nice and tender. So I'll see you guys back in a bit. All right guys, so it's been about 50 minutes and it's time to check on this pork belly. So let's go ahead and see how they look. Oh yeah guys, look at that. Look how that looks. Looks super good. Yeah, they feel tender. Super tender. You guys can see, let me get them focus. Alright, that feels super tender, guys. Alright guys, so I'm gonna put this on the table and I'll show you what's the next step. Alright guys, so for the next step, all I did was just drain all the liquid out of it. And now if you're wondering what's the temp, if you guys are wondering what the temps are this, let's check them out. So this big board right here, they're tempting at, alright, so this one's sitting at 202, 203. This one is sitting at 204. So they're in the 200 range. So all we're gonna do now is just add the rest of the barbecue sauce on there. We're gonna put it back in the PK for 5-10 minutes until the barbecue sauce tacks up, and that's about it guys. So let's go ahead and add more of this Bandit barbecue sauce. Alright guys, so now all I'm gonna do is just put this back in the PK, uncover, and I'll see you guys back in a bit when we do the taste test. Let's go. Alright, so before we get started doing the taste test, I just want to say a big thank you to John over at High What Up Woodworks. He sent me this awesome cutting board. This is a 15 by 20 and it's 2-inch thick over here. He also added my logo on the bottom right corner over here. And one cool thing about this board is that this is the presentation side, and if you flip it over on the back, it has this awesome juice grooves that whenever you cut in like a juicy brisket or a juicy tri-tip, that all the juices collects here on the side. And on this corner over here, it has like a groove over here where you can just pour the remaining juice, and it's simple as that. It also comes with some handles over here, if you guys can see that, because it's a heavy board, so it comes with built-in handles, and it's really cool. So I already have 2 other boards from John over from How White the Woodworks. Really awesome cutting boards. If you guys are interested in getting one, he offers a 20% discount code for your first purchase. I'll leave all the links down below. Take advantage of that deal. Nobody else does that. So let's go ahead and do this taste test. Alright guys, so the pork belly is finally done and it looks absolutely delicious. Look at that color. I'm ready to give this a bite. My grandma's gonna be helping me with taking this taste test. So we used the suckleberry barbecue sauce, and we used the rubs. We used the hog and hand rub, and we also used the coffee rub, and it came out delicious, guys. So let me get the camera ready so we can do this taste test. All right, guys. So here I have my grandma, so we can do this taste test together. So I'm gonna grab this big one, nice and juicy, and my grandma's gonna grab hers. Let me put this up so you guys can see how it looks. Look at that, guys. Nice color, super tender. Let's take this bite. Let's go. All right, so here we go, guys. Me and my grandma. Wow. You can see, I don't know if you guys can see this, but this is nice smoke ring all around. Perfect flavor. Let me take another bite. So you got that spicy flavor, not a lot, but a little bit of spice. We got the sweetness with the honey, the brown sugar and all that. And with the barbecue sauce, super good stuff, guys. Let me take this last bite. So we smoked the pork belly for about an hour and a half, for about 1 hour and 40 minutes. And after that, we put them in a pan, foil pan, added some butter, brown sugar, barbecue sauce, let it smoke, let it braise for another 45 minutes. And this is what you get left with. Super good stuff, guys. I hope you guys really enjoyed this video. Please like the video, subscribe to the channel, leave me a comment below. Let me know if you had this before. If you haven't, give this a try. And with that being said, guys, I'll see you guys back in the next video. ¿Está bien sabroso?
No, tiene buen sazón, qué rica. Buen rico sazón.